Twin Cities, it's your good friend. It's your pal. It's your compadre. It's TC, everybody. How you doing? Boom. What's going on in the big show today? Well, it's, what is it? We're in the middle of February 16th of 2012. And lots of good stuff coming up in the big show today. Of course, as always, we have 3 parts to the show. The first part is my journey, where I talk a little bit about why I'm doing the show, and I don't know where it's going to go, what's going to happen, but, we'll figure it out as we go. And then a little Twin Cities talk, born and raised in the Twin Cities, born in Minneapolis, lived in Hopkins, and then Stillwater, and now I'm rocking it out still on the east side in Lake Elmo, so I got that going for me. We'll do a little Twin Cities talk. Well, we'll do a lot of Twin Cities talk. And then first customer. What the hell is first customer? First customer is I want to be your first customer. I don't care. You got a crappy job. You want to start your own business. Maybe it's a side business. I want to be your first customer. You got disability, Social Security, not Medicaid, but welfare. What's the other one? I forget. Unemployment. Hey, I want to be your first customer. So we'll talk a little first customer, baby. How can I help you? I want to serve you better. I want to be your first customer. I don't know how long it's going to take for me to be somebody's first customer, but it may take a while. So, but, and if I like the product, I'm sure as hell going to mention it on the show. You're probably going to get a mention either way. So I don't know how many people are listening, but, you got to start somewhere, right? You just got to show up, baby. You got to show up. You got to do your job, as Vince Lombardi would say. And, good things will probably happen for you. Well, it will happen for you. So it's just going to take a while. So there you go. All right, let's get to my journey here. There's a lot to talk about with my journey. The theme music to this show is one of them. I'm not sure if I've decided to change the theme music. I pretty much have, though. Not sure if I'm going to be using the Foo Fighters for this show. I'm recording the show, and then I'll make a decision on what kind of music I want coming up at the beginning and at the end of the show. For the past 4 shows, I guess this is show number 5 now. I made it past show number 3. Congratulations to me, I suppose. Cause if you look at the HeyTC website, heytc.com, and you can see that I've done a couple of shows. One of them was like a technology show, and one of them was a rock concert show. And some a-hole, but he was right, made a comment when you never make it past your 3rd show with these ideas you do. And I have an idea on who that guy was, but whatever. Kind of a friend of mine, so to speak. But anyway, so I lost my train of thought. Completely lost my train of thought. This is why I'm doing the show, so I get better at not losing my train of thought. So, the beginning of the show, the music. Okay, so there's a couple of things here. I like bands. I love the Foo Fighters. White Limo is the song at the beginning of the show. It actually won a Grammy for Best Metal Performance. Okay, I guess. The Grammys are kind of the dumbest people since the Emmy voters, I suppose. Well, actually, the Grammy voters are dumber than the Emmy voters, but nobody's dumber than the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right? Those are the dumbest people in the world, in my humble opinion. They don't get anything right. Anyways, after the Grammys were over, and I guess last night, Wednesday night in Hollywood, the Foo Fighters did a fundraiser for President Barack Obama. I'll salute. More power to him. But I think that I just have a bad feeling about politicians. So even if the Foo Fighters were doing a fundraiser, for, say, Mitt Romney or Rick Santorum or Newt Gingrich or Ron Paul, I would be like, ew, why? Politicians are the most skeevy people ever. I mean, there's politicians, there's lawyers, there's, car salesmen. Car salesmen, not so bad, right? Anymore. There's, union people, public union people especially. So, anyways. So hearing that the Foo Fighters were doing fundraising, I don't care if Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters come out and say, yeah, we love Barack Obama. But once you cross that line, I guess, to actually promoting, like going out and raising money as a celebrity, if you're doing it in your personal life, fine. But if you're actually going to use your kind of the name of your entity, like if I was to take HeyTC and say, I want to go raise money for Mark Dayton, and you were like, oh my God, is this guy an idiot? yes, I would be an idiot if I was doing that, because I wouldn't do that. But, hey, the Foo Fighters love the music, but they're gone. They gone. Like Hawk Harrelson, when somebody strikes out against a White Sox, if a Twins guy strikes out against a White Sox, he gone. And in this case, they gone. And then, the funny thing is, when I did my show, The Daily Dementia, back in the late 90s, before podcasts were podcasts, my opening music was a song by Megadeth. I forget what it was. But anyways, there was the infamous line. It was called The Daily Dementia. So the line that I used from the show was, well, me, it's nice talking to myself, a credit to dementia. Because I was basically talking to myself like I am now. Don't say, TC, don't say, And I'm referring to myself in the third person. Good God. Oh, dear God. Oh, he's crazy. He's some sort of jackal. Anyways, so what's funny about me thinking that I might use a Megadeth song again is that yesterday, Dave Mustaine comes out and endorses Rick Santorum right after I'd read that the Foo Fighters were doing a fundraiser. Now, like I said, if you want to support somebody, great. But once you start using your product, so like if Dave Mustaine and Megadeth were to go out and like do a fundraiser for Rick Santorum, and God knows I hope they don't. But if they were, I would be like, all right, they gone, not interested. So we'll see what I come up with music. It's hard. But there's a lot of apolitical bands out there, and I like that. I like stuff that's apolitical when it comes to my media. Now, if I'm tuning into a political show and I want to hear Bill Maher rant about religion and how Obama is the most wonderful president ever, well, then that's great. Or if I want to tune into Rush Limbaugh and find out how Obama is the worst president and George Bush is, the second coming, well, that's great too. But when it comes to music, I'm not, I'm okay with Bono and stuff to a point. But anyway, so we'll see what I use for the music. Who knows what it'll be? I don't know. I'd love to use Van Halen, but probably won't be. Well, we'll see. I don't know. I need to write my own song. I need to call up a guy I used to know called Eric von Rothkirch and say, Eric, can you make me a cool opening for the show? And he might do it still. Because he's a Twin Cities boy like me, now living in Dallas, Texas, rocking it in the game industry. So, anyways. All right. So that's the first bit today. As far as a podcast subscription, as I was saying, this is show 5. One of the things I want to do is get 10 to 15 episodes into doing this to make sure I'm doing this, because once I do the podcast thing, I have to find a host. Right now, I'm just uploading the shows to YouTube. That doesn't cost me any money. But if I'm going to do a podcast where you can download an MP3 and listen to it on your iPad or your iPod or your Android device or your Windows phone or your BlackBerry, probably not your BlackBerry so much anymore, right? I need to actually find a service like Libsyn, it's called, and I think there's a couple other ones out there where they'll host your podcast for you for, a monthly fee of whatever, $20 a month or $50 a month. So before I invest in that, I want to prove to myself that I'm going to do this twice a week as I say I'm going to do it, Monday and Thursday. And the funny thing is, I'm doing it late here on Thursday afternoon. Usually I've been doing the shows in the morning, but some personal stuff, family stuff, ended up over at Regions Hospital in St. Paul. Had to deal with that today, but I wanted to make sure I did the show, and here we are Thursday, I'm doing the show, so that's a good sign for me. So that's what's going on there, in case you're interested in the show. If you happen to be listening on YouTube and you're like, how come this guy, his little podcast, I can't download it to my iPad or my iPod or whatever, my iPhone. So, yeah, well, that's the reason. So it's coming in due time. I just got to keep plugging along and we'll make it happen. So, all right. Also today, I'm feeling a little stuffed up. I still feel stuffed up. I feel like I've got a cold without the runny nose. It's very, very weird. I've been sneezing a lot. I've got a bad headache today. But come on, the show must go on, right? Though it may be, the headache may come from two factors. I've been trying to eat better, and that's a big thing. I lost some weight last week, trying to lose some weight this week, but yesterday, because of convenience and because of the hospital thing, once again over at Regions yesterday, as well as today, I ended up having McDonald's twice in one day. Yes, McDonald's. You ask a doctor, when should I eat McDonald's? Once a week, once a month, or never. Pretty much all of them will say never. Not that there's anything wrong with McDonald's. I think they make a great product, but as far as your health goes, probably shouldn't eat it. And here I go, and I've had it twice yesterday, once for breakfast and once for dinner. Once again, for just that damn reason of convenience. So I'm struggling there. So if you ever want to send me an email, and you can send me an email at tc@heytc.com and say, damn it, dude, lay off the McDonald's, get your rear in gear. Don't be eating that crap. It's pretty good, but it's crap. I know it is. So anyway, so I'm trying to do better. Before the show today, I had a little leftover turkey from Valentine's night. It was nice. Jennifer made a nice, she stuffed the bird, and then well, let's not go there. She's gonna hear this, and she's gonna be like, oh my God. No, nothing. Anyway, so, oh, and the other thing I wanted to mention was, if you'll remember on Monday, I was worried about a call I was going to have. I think it was on Monday night. Yeah, it was Monday night. The call did happen. I felt good after it. And then on Wednesday, I actually had kind of a follow-up call with a different person that's related to this other person. Not, in a family sort of way, but in a business sort of way. And I wanted to get something out there, which I had failed to mention on Monday night, and previously. And so I'm hoping things have gone well there, and hopefully there'll be no blowback. But I'm kind of the guy who likes to do business the honest way, but sometimes I get scared, and maybe being scared is, people view that as I'm hiding something from them or lying about something, but I'm not. I'm just scared. I mean, that's my journey, right? Sometimes we're angry, sometimes we're bitter, sometimes we're scared. And hopefully most of the time we're happy, because the meaning of life, in my opinion, is being happy. So I've been scared about that. So I'm working on it, baby. I'm working on it. So anyways, quite a bit on my journey today. We can maybe cue up a little bit of, what is that song that ended The Sopranos? Oh, Don't Stop Believing, when we talk about, maybe that should be the, opening theme, huh? Don't Stop Believing, some journey song. Since this is my journey, I don't know what the show is going to become. I want to serve you. I want you to be a part of the show. Whether you listen, whether you interact with me, whether you're on the show. That's what I want. Another thing that I want is I want to talk to some people in the Twin Cities about some stuff. I've got one person in mind who I'd love to have on the show eventually when I'm ready for it. I don't know when that'll be, but she runs a blog called Twin Cities Restaurant Blog or something like that, I think it is. You can find it. Great source for finding out all about restaurants. And, her blog is she goes to different restaurants and tries them out. I love restaurants in the Twin Cities. I'll drive all the way across town to go to, what's that hamburger joint down there by Flying Cloud? Off of Flying Cloud. I can never remember what it's called. They just make hamburgers and fries. Great place. So anyway, all right. So Twin Cities Talk. Let's get to Twin Cities Talk now. What's going on? I see the Vikings stadium thing is the big story kind of today, where they've unveiled kind of a site near the Metrodome. Is that going to happen? You got to think that's going to happen. I don't see what's weird about the stadium stuff and funding is you look at all these big cities, and big cities traditionally are run by Democrats. That's what happens. So it would seem to me that the Democrats are subsidizing these millionaires and billionaires. I'm just speaking the language, Republicans do it just as much, so don't worry about it. So you got to think that Minneapolis is a big city. Something's going to get done on the Viking Stadium, right? Because I think the governor is behind it, and it's kind of a PR nightmare if you don't back the Viking Stadium. People are going to be like, well, that guy let the Vikings leave, or that girl let the Vikings leave. Screw him. I'm going to vote him out of office and, vote for the other guy, whether it's a D or an R next to their name, or a D and R. I think that D and R is do not resuscitate. That's what the political landscape should be now. Do not resuscitate. Forget Democrat and Republican. Do not resuscitate when it comes to the politicians. So I don't know what's going to happen there. I want the Vikings here. If you want a professional sports team, you got to pretty much pony up as a city. The reason why Minneapolis, in my humble opinion, and say like cities like Chicago, and maybe Atlanta to a certain degree, have withstood the bad management among cities is, in my opinion, because of the businesses that are here. I mean, look at all the great businesses that are here. You know, we've got Target HQ'd here, U.S. Bank, we've got General Mills, we've got Cargill, we've got Best Buy, and a ton of other great businesses there that can withstand really bad government. Chicago is one of those companies too. I mean, they got Caterpillar there and a lot of other great businesses, Sears and obviously initially there. Atlanta has CNN and Coke, among others. But then you look at, you know, some of these other cities that have been devastated, you know, by really, really crappy politicians running the city into the ground. That's like Cleveland and Baltimore and Washington, D.C. Oh, God, I mean, that's a cesspool, right? And then you've got Detroit as well. You know, it took the government to bail out Detroit, but still, you can go buy, you know, thousands of homes in Detroit now for $1. So I think when you look at the Twin Cities, I think even if we have like the worst politicians in the world, and that's kind of a redundant statement in my humble opinion, we still have great businesses that can support all of the stupid things that politicians do. So, and I'm not talking just about Democrats here. I know Democrats tend to run cities, but the Republicans are just as stupid and retarded as ever. So anyways, there you go. That's my deal there. Hey, speaking of sports, pitchers and catchers report on Saturday. I'm psyched. I love this time of the year. I know that this is probably going to be a bad year for the Twins. In fact, let's do a little spring training preview. Right now, on the fly, baby, catcher Ryan Domet, who can't play catcher. He's not a very good catcher. Can't play first base. Can't play right field. That's where Gardy's going to be playing him. Not very good defensively. The guy can hit. I'll give him that much. Domet can hit. However, the problem with Ryan Domet is that the guy can't stay healthy. The guy should have been a Milwaukee Brewer. I remember in the 80s, the Brewers always got hurt, whether it was Paul Molitor or Jim Gantner, Teddy Higuera. You know, all those guys on the Brewer roster were always getting hurt. Well, Ryan Domet should be an honorary Brewer because this guy cannot stay healthy. If Domet gets 300 at-bats this year for the Twins, it'll be a miracle. Just a Hoyle True Blue miracle. Of course, we got Mauer there. Who knows what's going to happen there, whether he's going to be back or not. That's a crapshoot. Drew Butera, you know, he is what he is. He's pretty good defensively, can't do anything with the bat. Excuse me. At first base, of course, Morneau is the big question. I hope he comes back, but geez, I'm not optimistic. I feel bad for the guy. I wish him the best, and I think first and foremost, now that he has a daughter, he has to look out what's right for him. As much as I love the Twins and would love to see him in there, I mean, he's got to do what's right for himself and his family, and I don't know if playing baseball is it anymore. But hopefully there's a miracle there that happens as well, and Morneau can once again regain his form. We got Luis Castillo. That's not Luis Castillo. Alexi Casilla at second base. You know, that is what it is as well. Not great, but capable. Shortstop Jamie Carroll, a 38-year-old playing shortstop for the Twins. I like Jamie Carroll. He's a hustler. He's like a Nick Punto type of guy. He's like a Kevin Love kind of guy. You know, he'll work the boards over and over, but you know, how productive can he be? You know, can he get 600 at bats and stay healthy as a 38-year-old guy? You know, that's a tough one. He might be able to, and I hope he's right. Danny Valencia. I don't know. Valencia strikes me as a flake a little bit. I'm kind of sick of Valencia. I'm ready. If the Twins said we've traded Danny Valencia to the Washington Nationals for, you know, some other guy, I'd be like, yeah, you know, that's not so bad. I just don't. Not a big fan of Danny Valencia for some reason, but we don't have anything else. So what are we going to do, right? This isn't a good team, in my humble opinion, going this year. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think they're going to be a surprise team. Every year in baseball, in one division, there's usually a surprise team and there's usually a disappointing team. Never listen to what the guys at ESPN or anything, these jackals predict, because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They make the same predictions over and over and they're always wrong.
So, anyways, there'll always be a surprise team. There'll always be a bad team. I don't think the Twins are going to be a surprise team this year. I think they're going to have a hard time winning 70 games. But hope I'm wrong. Ron Gardenhire, in his infinite wisdom, is going to put Ben Revere, our best outfielder, in left field. Okay. Then in center field, he's going to put Denard Span. Okay. Span should be in right. Revere should be in center. I don't know why he's kowtowing to Denard Span. I love Denard Span. He's great to get on base. But he should be in right field. He needs to play right field. And they're going to put Josh Willingham, who the Twins signed this offseason, who's a mediocre, well, let's just say he's a below average left fielder, and they're going to put him in right field, which is a harder position. That's a terrible decision. So hopefully by the time May 1st comes around, hopefully Denard is in right, Revere is in center, and Willingham is in left. And I know they've talked about Willingham going to first base if Morneau or Mauer isn't playing there. Who knows? And our backup outfielder, Trevor Plouffe. I like Trevor Plouffe. I think he's got home run potential. If I was the Toronto Blue Jays and I had Dwayne Murphy as my hitting coach like the Blue Jays have, I would be calling the Twins up because under Dwayne Murphy's tutelage in Toronto, the Blue Jays have become a great home run hitting team. Look at Jose Bautista. Holy crap. So if I was the Blue Jays, I'd call up and ask for Trevor Plouffe. Trevor Plouffe in target field, is he going to hit a lot of home runs? Well, as long as he pulls the ball, since, the balls go out there and they just die out there in left and right center. Ugh, that's a tough one, man. So pitching, maybe we'll do pitching another day. There ain't much there either. Jason Marquis, I don't know. This is, it's going to be a tough year maybe. It's maybe a rebuilding year. They got to see what happens with Morneau, and if Morneau isn't able to play, then you can kind of start a full-on rebuild and figure out who the core components of the team, who's the core component of the team and who's not. So that's my humble opinion there. Hey, one of the shows that, a little bit off of Twin Cities talk, but one of the shows that I enjoy watching is on A&E, which is Hoarders. And have you ever watched that show? It's an interesting show to me about, what everybody has their vice. One of my things is eating. I eat too much sometimes. Well, a lot of the time. And that's how I take out my stress. I eat. I'm a stress eater. Other people drink. Other people spend money on shoes. They spend it on their hair. They spend it on, whatever. And then obviously other people hoard stuff. Everybody seems to have their own demon. Sometimes you see the demon, sometimes you don't. Well, on Hoarders, it's interesting to me because if you look at who's usually the hoarder, 9 times out of 10, there is one common thread. There's 3 common threads, I should say. One is that they're a teacher. I don't know why, but apparently teachers are hoarders. There's a lot of teachers that have been on that show as I've watched it over the past couple of seasons. Another factor is cats. People who have cats tend to hoard more. And then the third factor is they're somehow on the government tit, which usually means they're disabled or at that point on Social Security. So, of course, the trifecta would be is if you can find a teacher with cats who's on disability. Odds are that person, if you know any teachers currently on disability and who have cats, when's the last time you were in their house? Because they're probably a hoarder. I don't know. That's my tongue-in-cheek 2-bit theory. So there you go. What else is going on? So I was down at Regions. I gotta say, I like Regions Hospital. It's a very nice hospital. They've built some new additions. They're remodeling the rooms. The rooms are really nice. They got 2 nice chairs in there if you're visiting. They've got a couch in there. They got the flat panel TV. All the rooms are, just single rooms. Then you've got your own bathroom. And then there's usually a nurse's station that connect 2 of the rooms. So I gotta say, if I ever get sick again, and I probably will, take me to Regions Hospital in St. Paul, because I'm very impressed by that hospital from having been in it several times over the last 9 months because of some health related issues in my family. One of my aunts has had some issues, so I've been down there quite a bit. And it's a lot different than that toilet down there in Minneapolis called Abbott Northwestern. Now, I can't entirely crap on it because I was born at Abbott Northwestern. But last summer, Jen and I were on our way to Des Moines to see one of her favorites, Michael Bublé. What can I say? He's actually not too bad. He's a pretty good artist, I gotta admit. You know, I'm a Van Halen boy, but hey, I know good music when I hear it. So we're going down to see Michael Bublé, and I get down to like Owatonna, and I end up with pancreatitis. I'm in so much damn pain. End up going to the ER. I've got pancreatitis. They try to get it under control with pain medicine, and they get it under control a little bit with pain medicine, and then I start vomiting up everything because the pain medicine has reacted that way. So suffice it to say, it was like a gallstone that got caught in the duct of the pancreas. Very, very, very painful. I found out firsthand, and then obviously reading about it. So they doped me up for the pain to hell and high water. And then they need to do some sort of endoscope or something, which they can't support there. So they've got to transfer me, and they're going to transfer me to Abbott Northwestern. And little do I know at the time what a toilet Abbott Northwestern is. I got to say, the doctors, very good. The nurses, okay, are not good. I didn't like the nurses there. The only exception among the nurses is if you were Asian, you were a good nurse, in my experience. Or if you were a guy, you were very good. But that's my experience. And the rooms were horrible. Horrible, horrible rooms. So I get transferred there, and, you know, they do the procedure there, and I end up having to wait 6 days to get this procedure done because I got to get the inflammation down, and they're filling me full of liquids and all kinds of stuff. The stuff that's in bananas, I forget. Anyways, I'm low on that, so anyways. So if I'm ever sick, take me to Regents, please, because I didn't care for Abbott Northwestern at all. The doctors were good, but yeah, nothing else there. Not at all. So, and don't get pancreatitis. It sucks. It really sucks. That morning, actually, on the way down, we had stopped at Granny Donut in St. Paul. I don't know if you've ever been to Granny Donut in St. Paul. Oh, the most amazing donuts ever. A great couple run that restaurant. Awesome. Or the bakery, rather. And the guy who owns it, he gave us a couple of little donuts to try. I haven't been back since, maybe because I'm afraid that if I eat one, I'm going to get pancreatitis again. And it was just a coincidence, obviously, but still, if you're in St. Paul and you know where Granny Donut is, or you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. So, anyways. All right, let's get to first customer. I want to be your first customer. That's what it's all about. How can I help you create your own business? If you've got a crappy job and you want to branch out, start your own business, anything I can do to help you, I'm willing to help. If you're on disability, you're on welfare, you're on unemployment, you're on Social Security, if you're sucking from any of the 4 major tits on government, I want to help you get off those tits and, do something that contributes to everybody. One of the things, I was actually watching American Idol last night. Yes, don't make fun of me. I don't mind the show. Jennifer likes it. It has its moments. And Steven Tyler was telling the story about how you got to keep fighting. And I guess that's with this show right here, the Hey Twin Cities show. You got to keep fighting. He says, when we first started, we got booed off stage. That made me feel good. Not that they got booed off stage, but here's a band that became one of the biggest bands in the world, and at some point in their career, they were booed off stage. So I should not be disappointed that no one has emailed yet about being being first customer. I should not be disappointed that, only a handful of people are checking out the show on YouTube. I don't have it available as a podcast. I got to understand that. I can't be disappointed. I just got to chugga, do it every day, do my job, boom. And things will start happening, right? And if they don't, they don't. But hey, as long as I enjoy doing this, I'm going to do it, right? Nothing wrong with that, baby. Nothing wrong with that. So anyways, all right, let's put this big show in the book for February 16th, 2012. It's your good friend. It's your pal. It's your compadre. Thanks for listening to Hey Twin Cities. Email me at tc@heytc.com. The website, of course, is Heytc.com, Heytc, T is in twin, C is in cities. And I'll see you in the emergency room.